Peter, Colchester on Saturday. It'll be Keith's 10th game in charge since taking over. There's always a bedding process. Do you as players now feel that you're getting exactly what Keith's expecting of you?
Yeah, I think like you say, obviously there's always a transitional period when a new manager comes in, and the games on stage were coming really thick and fast, so there was limited time on the training ground. I think over the period just before Christmas, this Christmas period has not been as hectic as some have experienced, so been able to get some work in on the training ground, which is good.
For you personally, Manny Bonte, Mark Ellis, now Sid Nelson, changes at full-back through injuries, COVID-related, international call-ups. Is that ideal for defensive units to be chopping chins? Does that have a bearing sometimes on results?
I think, if you can have a settled team, settled units, as you talk about there, the back four, I think if you can keep a settled personnel, you gain that consistency in selection, that continuity, and hopefully when you're able to do that, then that shows in performance. I think over the last couple of games, as a group, we're not a million miles away. It's real fine margins, with limited oppositions to minimal opportunities. We just seem to have been punished with the goals conceded, which from our point of view is really frustrating. But we can only carry on working on the training ground and trying to improve on a daily basis, and hopefully that shows in the matches ASAP.
It's fair to say, don't scream at me. No spring chicken, Peter. But showing the younger ones the way, I think the most appearance of anyone in the whole squad at the moment. Do you have to manage yourself any differently, especially this season, with more Saturday Tuesdays than ever before?
Listen, I love Saturday Tuesdays. I love games. The games coming thick and fast. It's brilliant. To me, it's a test of your physical capabilities, but it's also a test of your mental capacity. In between games, it's a relatively short turnaround, and you've got to make sure that you're eating well, eating the right stuff, drinking right, doing all the recovery protocols and things that you can do here and away from the training ground. So, I think as you become a little bit older, a little bit more experienced, you know what you need, you know what your body needs, you know the best ways to maximise yourself and get the best from yourself.
Colchester this weekend, no winning 5 for them. They've had a bit of a barren spell. Does that change the mindset? Is there ever a good time to play a team?
Teams can be going through a bad spell, a good spell. You've got to take every game as it comes. They're all individual, as daft as that sounds. You've got to prepare, because the different clubs, the different teams, they all play in a variety of ways. So you've got to, we've got a staff that will analyse them and pick out their weaknesses. So hopefully we can exploit them and obviously mitigate the risks of their strengths.
We had a great run ourselves. Hit a bit of a wall at the minute, 1 winning 5 in the league, but in spite of that, just 8 points off third position, 3 points off the playoffs, with a game in hand on most as well. So very much still in the mix, and targets, I'm sure, remain the same.
Of course, yeah. We've, as you say, we've had a little bit of an indifferent spell with results, which no one wants. We want to win every time we go out there, but we've had that indifferent spell, and as you say, we're not a million miles away from where we want to be. So, picking up some positive results in the next couple of weeks will obviously aid that. And if we're well situated going into the new year, we believe we can push on and get where we ultimately want to go.
And finally, from me, a 2-part question really, a bit of a blow, moving back into Tier 3. so no fans again at Prenton Park. First of all, what was that like? Having fans back, was it strange? And second of all, I'm sure it's a real disappointment.
Yeah, I'll answer your second question first, but yeah, it's bitterly disappointing that we're back into Tier 3. Obviously I'm aware that there's things going on in the world and in the country that are far bigger than football and other things, but I think as an area we're in the lowest sort of numbers. I believe that we could have still carried on in Tier 2 and been able to have fans, but those people have made decisions, and unfortunately it's not the case. Yeah, it was great to have fans back in the ground and making the noise and supporting us. Just disappointing it wasn't as many as we would have in a normal situation. Obviously the support we get when it's a normal time, there's no COVID and all that sort of thing. It's a fantastic atmosphere. In my opinion, I think it gives the players a lift, and I think the team and the fans coming together give each other a lift, and that benefits everyone. So yeah, really disappointing that we're back in Tier 3 and we're not going to have any fans in for the time being. Hopefully we can get past all this stuff as soon as possible and get back to living some sort of normality and get back to fans being in the ground and then backing us as they do every week, although at the minute they're not there with us in person.
Thank you very much, Peter. All the very best for the weekend.
Thank you. Pleasure.